What's up, guys? It is TheTurtleDork here with a new review. This week I have for you Spider-Man Homecoming, the newest film in the MCU, and the first time we have seen a partnership between two studios. So Sony is letting Marvel take creative control and bringing Spider-Man into the MCU for the first time, which it feels like where he belongs. So Spider-Man Homecoming. I really enjoyed this film. I gotta say, a couple of things that I really enjoyed about this film. I like how this film feels intimate. It feels small, especially within a lot of the films in the MCU. This film kind of reminds me more so of a film like Ant-Man. Ant-Man was just a film about a man who was trying to get the affection and love of his daughter. And this film feels like it's on that same scale. And I feel like that's where Spider-Man belongs. That's where Spider-Man needs to be. And again, that's the thing I really kind of took away from this movie, was really just the vibe, the feel, and the tone of this film. Again, we've heard a lot that John Watts really wanted to make this superhero film feel like a film of the 1980s, like the John Hughes high school films of that era. And they really pay homage to a lot of that, whether it's through films like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, or 16 Candles, or Breakfast Club, or anything like that. Like this film definitely feels that way. I think a lot of that has to do with Tom Holland playing Peter Parker / Spider-Man, and the cast that they put around him. This feels like a high school movie, and not taking anything away from Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. I thought they were great for that era of Spider-Man that they were really trying to adapt, and for the time that those movies came out. But Tobey Maguire never felt like a high school kid. Andrew Garfield never felt like a high school kid, even though in those films we bought into it because we really never saw anything different. But now seeing Tom Holland, and at the time that he made this film, I think it was like 19 or 20, but he looks young, and he's really able to actually capture the essence of Spider-Man being this 15-year-old boy, really trying to be this superhero that's trying to impress and want to be an Avenger. And it's that exuberance, it's that joy of being a kid and being able to be a superhero that I really kind of responded to, and really felt that this movie kind of made its own kind of it kind of dug its own kind of niche in being able to kind of carve out that section of the superhero genre that I think we've never really seen before, or from the other Spider-Man films. I think that Michael Keaton was really good as Adrian Toomes. His motivation for what he is doing, I thought was rooted in a very real place. And I think a lot of people will probably have conflictions about whether if he is a true villain or if he is the real villain of this film. But I think with that being said, I think that makes him an interesting villain in and of itself, is the fact that you do kind of question, or you do start to question who really is the villain of this movie, and is what he is doing, is it necessarily the wrong thing within the context of everything that's been going on in the world after the Chitauri attacks in the first Avengers. Another thing I really enjoyed was how they were really able to kind of seamlessly build this movie into the MCU timeline. It really feels a part of it without feeling like they really had to kind of ham-fist Spider-Man into this timeline and into this universe. It really feels, it kind of, for me, it felt seamless that he would be doing these things, especially especially after Civil War, when Tony Stark recruited him to help him out during that battle in Civil War. And speaking of Civil War, we kind of see the different vantage points. We see Peter Parker's vantage point in the beginning, and it really kind of answers a lot of those questions. Like, well, who would have a camera filming that battle at the airport? It really kind of answers a lot of those questions, and it feels natural, especially with Peter Parker being a kid and a kid of this generation. A lot of that stuff feels very natural. So I really enjoyed Spider-Man Homecoming. There's so much more that we have to say, so definitely check out our review cast that we did. I have it up on this channel as well, where we really go into depth about Spider-Man Homecoming in all aspects of the film, scene by scene, and what we think of this film and how it fits within the greater MCU. But these are some of my initial thoughts of what I thought of Spider-Man Homecoming, and looking forward to what they're going to do in the future, seeing him in Avengers Infinity War and the sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming, and how the evolution of this character and his arc is going to take place over these next few films. So yeah, let me know what you thought of the trailer. I'm so used to doing reactions. Let me know what you thought of the film for Spider-Man Homecoming in the comments below. Go ahead, rate, like, subscribe, and share, and go ahead and check out my other dorks at MouthDork, at TheDiscoDork, and at Sidewalk Siren. And as for me, I am the Turtle Dork, and with that, I'm out.